Okay, so we're back with another general training task, one question, and today we're looking at letters for making arrangements. So I'd just like to make a quick note for anybody who's new to the course. Just if you're watching this right now, I just want to remind you that these are supplementary materials, so make sure that you finish the course before you start the demo lessons. Also, if you haven't done any of the demo lessons yet, so like if this is your first demo lesson, it would be very beneficial for you to go back and watch the earlier ones. So we started earlier this year, and we've kind of been building on what we've learned in previous lessons. And you'll just note that like what I'm pointing out and the mistakes that I'm pointing out become less and less every lesson, because there's just been a lot of improvement and a lot of progress made with the general training students. So basically what we're doing today then, here's a question I'm going to look at in the lesson, and at the end of the lesson I will give you a different question to answer. So just a note, you're not answering this question, we're just going to talk about this question in the lesson. So here we have, you have decided to throw a surprise birthday party for your mother and her favourite restaurant, in her favourite restaurant. So that's our question statement, so you're just going to have to paraphrase that. Then the first prompt, say why your mother likes this restaurant. So again, you're going to write about 50 words for that in the second paragraph. The third paragraph will be 50 words roughly about this prompt. Give details about when the party will be and how many guests to expect. Okay, so in the first prompt you can see that's like you could easily write 50 words about that. In the second prompt, give details about when the party will be and how many guests to expect. Okay, so if you said like the party will be on the 15th of next month and you can expect 40 guests. So that there, I've answered the prompt, so I fully answered it, but when you consider your paragraph should be roughly 50 words long, that there is not enough. So you're going to have to flesh this out. So I think the easiest way to flesh this out would be to talk about the guests. So you say there will be 40 guests, and then you can describe who they are, like if your mother hasn't seen these people for a long time, if they're old friends or if they're family members, and who they are. So basically when you're given a prompt like this where by answering it directly you're not reaching 50 words, or roughly 50 words, then you need to think about how you're going to expand on it. The last prompt then will be your fourth and final paragraph. Explain what requirements you have. So the requirements you have, I mean, it doesn't have to be anything out of the world. It could be something simple, or it could be something relevant to your guests. So it might be something like, we have a lot of young children, so we're going to need baby seats, or it could be something like you want a birthday cake, or you want party hats, or you want a banner. It could be like you have some disabled guests, so you need to have like some arrangements for them. It could be that you have people who have some kind of dietary needs, so you might have some vegetarians, so you need to have like special menu for those people, or whatever. It doesn't matter. But basically, you're just going to have to like explain why, or explain what you need. Right, so we're just going to look then at the three main errors from the last lesson we did for letter. So one of the main things was that the paraphrase was missing an element of the question statement. So here we have the question statement, you have decided to throw a surprise birthday party for your mother in her favourite restaurant. So you need to paraphrase this, but I'm going to paraphrase it and you're going to tell me what element did I leave out. Okay, so in my letter I would say, I'm going to have a birthday celebration for my mother in your restaurant. So here, I haven't said it's a surprise birthday party. So I haven't said this, so that's what I'm talking about, that the element is missing. Also, I didn't say that it's my mother's favourite restaurant, so I left that out. So basically you want to include everything from the question statement in your paraphrase, just so that it's all clear and it's all present. Similarly, you don't want to add in extra things. So like, you don't want to say, and it's her favourite restaurant since she was a child. So that wasn't in the question statement, you're not going to add that in. So basically, paraphrase it, use your synonyms, restructure it, or do whatever you need to do, but don't have anything extra. Similarly, don't have anything less than what you can find in the question statement. So that was one of the things that came out that a lot of people were doing. Next one then, the paragraph's not starting with the purpose given by the prompt. So here, let's say this first prompt says, say why your mother likes this restaurant. So what we had in previous demo lessons was the student answers were saying all the great things about the restaurant first, and then at the end of the paragraph saying, and this is why my mother likes your restaurant so much. So there you put the purpose at the end, where really what you want to do is have that at the very start. So the reason that this restaurant is my mother's favourite is because, and then you will list all the things that you like about it. So this is something that has been going on for a while. It's something that I feel is very easy to correct, but basically what you need to do is slow down and just consider, when you're writing that first sentence, have a quick look back at the question and just make sure that you are including the purpose. So try to get it at the start. It's much better for coherence and cohesion. It's much easier for the reader to understand why are they reading this particular paragraph or what it's about. Like in a similar way with writing task 2, where you have the topic sentence for the main body paragraphs. It's something like that. It's not as strict as it would be in task 2, but it's still helpful for the reader, helpful for the examiner, where they know from the first sentence what the paragraph is about, and it just makes it easier to process the information. The final one then is grammar and vocabulary errors. So, I mean, it doesn't need to be perfect to get a high score. You don't need absolutely perfect grammar. You don't need absolutely perfect vocabulary. But what you do need is to get it as high as possible within your ability. So, like obviously long term would be improve your grammar, improve your vocabulary. But short term, so like if you're answering the question that I show you at the end of the lesson, you don't have time to go away and spend 6 months on grammar and 6 months on vocabulary and come back and answer it. You're going to do it today. So what you can do today is just to be aware of your own limitations. So you want to do the best you can do, but no better. So like if you try to write beyond your own level, that's when you start to make a lot of mistakes. So be it like vocabulary items, words that you are not 100% sure either the meaning of or how it's used or in what context it's suitable. So just avoid using these words. So stick to what you are 100% confident about. Similarly in grammar, now obviously with grammar you don't want to just write the most basic sentences. You don't want to write just one clause sentences. But at the same time, don't push yourself, don't kind of write yourself into a corner where you have nowhere to go except making mistakes. So just be aware of your own ability, be aware of your own limitations, and don't push yourself beyond that. So, I mean, making mistakes is part of improving. You have to make these mistakes to improve, but when you think about it, like taking risks in the exam is just not the best time to be doing it. So push yourself when you're practicing, but when you're writing essays, you want to focus on just writing the best possible sentences with the best clarity and the most accuracy that you can write. And the second thing then is rereading for mistakes. It's really important that you reread your sentences and reread your letter, because a lot of mistakes you make will be just because your mind, you're so busy with thinking of so many things at the same time that you'll just make mistakes in your writing without noticing it. Even though you know it's wrong, you'll make it just typos and small errors without noticing. So rereading what you've written is really, really important. Just to pull out the mistakes that you already know are wrong, and then hopefully just be left with a few enough errors that you're getting the score you need. So those are the three errors from last time I wanted to talk about again. Because the quality of your answers have been so high, like repeatedly again and again, your task 1 letters have been really, really strong. What I want you to do today is to just spend 20 minutes answering the question that I'm going to show you in 1 minute. So if you do not have 20 minutes right now, I think it's best for you to stop this video and come back when you have that much time. So I want you to spend exactly 20 minutes doing it. Do it in one sitting. So plan it, write it, check for errors, and try to get all of that done in 20 minutes. Then when you're finished, as usual, just type it up, put it into the comments below this video, and then I'll be able to look at like the key mistakes and in what ways people are going wrong with their answers. Okay, so this here is the question I want you to answer. Do it in 20 minutes. Put your answer in the comments below this video, and I'll be back to you guys tomorrow with global feedback on your strengths and your weaknesses. Okay, so that's it. Thank you again. Bye-bye now.